right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Chris Alemany, and you are watching the Alberniweather.ca podcast for March 3rd, 2024. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's just look at the current conditions here in the Alberni Valley, at least at my station. Here we go. It is 2.8 degrees Celsius, calm winds. Air quality is good. We've had a little bit of rain today, nothing like yesterday. You'll notice the storm rain here, which started back on Tuesday when we started to get all of this sort of crazy weather. Tuesday, the 27th of February, we've had 84 millimeters of rain, or at least water, in through the rain gauge in that time. So a fair amount. Anemometer is again calm, and it's nighttime, so nothing on the solar or UV. Barometer is just over 1,000 hectopascals, or 100 kilopascals. So pretty normal there. Okay, let's look at our almanac just to see how we did over the month. This is the first podcast I've done for March, so we'll have a little look back at February just in the graphs here. I'll have my main summary up next podcast, next time I update. But we'll do a little bit today. So we can see the start of February there. We started out quite warm. And then, it was fairly warm through most of the month. We had a little bit in the middle of the month there where we got down below zero. But for the most part, we were quite warm, and we got up to nearly 14 degrees there just towards the end of the month. And then we had at the very end here a little bit of cold weather that moved in, and some wild and wacky weather. We can look at the rain. Just make sure I'm on the month here. There we go. So you can see it was fairly dry through the month. A little bit in the middle here when it was, up to just about 20 millimeters, but not much through the rest of the month until we got to the very last day there. We had snow and rain, which added up to just over 60 millimeters. So that we really got most of our rain all in the span of maybe 2 days. Certainly the majority of it. So not great for the whole month, but at least we got some. If we look at, you can check out the radiation graph here. So this is sun intensity through the month. You can see it was a little brighter in the beginning, and then we had a pretty dark spell, then brighter again, and then quite variable here until the past few days, the end of the month, we were getting lots of rain. So we should see this brighten up a little bit. Same thing on the UV index. We're starting to see that rise now. The higher peaks are getting higher as the sun rises through the sky. So that's good to see. We're coming into spring. Good. If we look at the actual totals, max wind for this will be for this month actually. So no, that should be for the last 30 days. So 43 kilometers an hour. And let's see the rain. Oh no, so this is since May 1st. So unfortunately that's not capturing everything. So you'll have to wait until my next one when I'll do the full month summary. We can look at the webcams. It's looking pretty calm on the main webcam here. You'll notice I switched it over to YouTube. I was having some issues with the other embed style, so I just have it on YouTube there. It looks pretty good, and looks okay on the it looks okay on the highway cameras. I've heard today there was some maybe thunderstorms going on in Nanaimo, which is pretty fun. Oh yeah, look at that. So Nanoose Bay, It's still snowing. It's yeah, it's been an interesting day, I heard, on the other side of the island. So yeah, I got lots of messy road conditions. It looks like it's still snowing over there too. So bit of a mess. Hopefully you're not on the roads. You won't be on the roads if you're watching this. So that's good. But yeah, it's that should start to clear up tomorrow. So we'll talk about that in a second. There's our air quality looking pretty good. Satellite picture. Let's just look at the current satellite. You can see that spotty sort of convection, thunderstormy kind of weather here over the island. Pretty clear on the backside here. So that's what we can expect in the next few days. But yeah, it's still pretty interesting out there. I'm sure if we look at the radar here, we can look and see what's actually going on. There we go. Yeah, so it's pretty active down Parksville, Nanaimo. You can actually see it spinning a little bit, just moving up and around there. So active down in Victoria right now, Sydney, Parksville, Nanaimo. This is really interesting how it's got some spin there. You can see it sort of moving around. Interesting stuff. So yeah, look at that. Right around sort of that, centered around Cedar, just off of Gabriola Island, maybe. Just kind of spinning a little bit. Pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm sure there's interesting weather happening over there, but we don't have to worry too much about that. What I would like to see though is, well, let's just see, make sure there's not any flood warnings or anything. No, that looks okay. Let's look at the snow conditions here, and we'll go look at the commentary for March 1st. So it says, March 1st, 2024, relatively dry conditions persisted through the province for the first 3 weeks of February. 2 strong storm systems in the final week of the month resulted in the largest mountain snow accumulation of the season so far. That's quite something, consider it's February. A complete listing of automatic snow weather stations expressed as percent of long-term median for the entire length of record can be found here. So we'll look at that in a second. It says, despite recent snow accumulation, most automated snow weather stations across the province are below the median level for March 1st. The notable exceptions are the 2 forest curve stations in the Stikine River Basin. The provincial average on March 1st is 69% of median, increasing from 64% on February 15th because of the 2 strong storm systems in the final week of the month. A provincial composite graph of all automated stations with relatively long-term record is available here. We'll check that out in a second. The data for the graph begins in 1988. Fraser River Basin stations average 70% of median, increasing from 62. And it says by March 1st, on average, approximately 80% of the total seasonal snowpack has accumulated. So we're definitely nearing the end of the season when we expect any of this snow to help us out for the snowpack. I'm just going to see. So Lower Fraser region increased the greatest since February 15th. It measured 65% of the median compared to 48. Many other regions measured considerable increases. And if I look down here at the end, Vancouver Island plus 11. So that's good news. You know, at least we're going in the right direction. But I think we'll probably see it's still not a whole lot, but it's better than what it was. So, okay. So let's go look at the weather station composite. So this is for the whole of BC. This is sort of the general track for the whole BC snowpack. And we can see we got that little bit of a bump just at the end of February, which at least got us it got us into the 10th percentile. Not great, but it's at least not historic. Um, so I guess if you want to find a silver lining, there it is. But yeah, this white line here, that's the median. So that's the average that we would expect in any given year. We are way below that. We are way below 2022. We were at 600 millimeters snow water equivalent at this time last year. This year we are just over 400. So just what, 460 something it looks like. So yeah, it's a pretty bad situation, but it's at least better than what it was, thanks to those two storms. So let's look at Vancouver Island specifically, and we'll check out the stations. So here's Vancouver Island. So first on the top is Wolf Creek. So we can see here, we went from, the third one here is 15th. There we go. So this is the, wait, sorry, 1522, okay. So if we look at ours for that 55, there it is. So this is the 15th of February. It went down a little bit on the 22nd, and then that's when we got our snowfall events there in the last few days of the month, and it boosted us up to 62%. So that's good. I mean, it's higher than it's been since December at least. So this is 63. What is that? That's December 1st. That is 63 is December 8th. Yeah, so since the beginning of December, we haven't been this high. So that's good. You know, it's better than nothing, that's for sure. It looks like they are not tracking the Jump Creek site. It is at 0, and they've looks like they've given up on it. So that's definitely not great. And then the last two here, Heather Mountain is down near where Jump Creek is, but a little higher elevation near Lake Cowichan, and then Mount Arrowsmith. So you can see Heather Mountain was down to 24, was down to 21 at the middle of the month, and it popped up to 37. So that's good. It's far below what it was back in December. But you know, it's about where it was at the beginning of January. So that's okay. It's down a little from beginning of February there. But 37 is okay, I guess. And then Mount Arrowsmith, so that's on the east side, Mount Arrowsmith, where the webcam is. It is up to 52%. So that's encouraging. At least that's better than it's been since December 15th. So that's good. So kind of a mixed bag. Still not, definitely not really where we want it to be overall. The average here is basically 50%. So that's where we're at for the island as a whole, is half what we should be this time of year. So that's the picture on the snow. You know, would definitely help. The past few days definitely helped. But yeah, it's still half what we should be. So let's look at the forecast for the coming week. We'll look at the precipitation here. Here we go. So that's tonight, Sunday, looking into Monday. So you can see there's still quite a bit of activity here early Monday morning. Still might be a little messy in the morning here trying to get to Nanaimo if you're going to the east side. If you're driving anywhere from Victoria up to Courtney Campbell River, looks like it could have snow or rain of some sort right until the noon hour, looks like, and then it clears out. Nothing after that. Going into Tuesday, going into Wednesday, and then Wednesday afternoon, we have just a little bit. This looks really weak. Probably just clouds. So this is Thursday. That's yeah, Wednesday night, Thursday. It just looks like it'll probably be some clouds and maybe some showers on the west coast, but nothing really to mention. So the week looks fairly dry. Just beware tomorrow morning, Monday morning, definitely looks like, actually you can see, I was mentioning that swirl here. See this low here? You could actually see that on the radar. There it is moving across the island, right on schedule. So yeah, that's why it's pretty wild and wacky on the east side of the island there. So beware of that tomorrow morning. Looks like there's a big hunk of precipitation there on the east coast. So we're going to have to look at that. Let's go and have a good look at that in the high resolution model here. Let's look at the rain and snowfall. Go. Zoom that in a bit. So this is Sunday afternoon, and then if we look into Monday, yeah, we can see. So this is the model. It has gray is rain and green or blue is snow. So we can see 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. There's still some snow hanging on to the east side of the island here. So we'll have to be aware of that. Again, hanging on, looks like a bit of a changeover to rain, but could really be anything as it has been in the past few days. So finally clearing out by 10 or 1 p.m. I'm just going to see, let me back up here, see what time this is. 12 o'clock Sunday. Okay, let's look at so that was the previous model. That's not the updated one from this tonight. So let's look at the 4 kilometer one. That should be, no, that's still 12. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait for a few hours before the new one comes out. So yeah, again, there's that activity Monday morning. So be aware of that. Other than that, it looks pretty good. I'll just check out the temperatures for the area. There we go. So blue and purples are below freezing, and greens and yellows are above freezing. Orange or so is nice and warm. So yeah, we're getting into Monday night here. Let's look at Monday morning. There we go. Yeah, so you can see Monday morning still getting quite cool, down below 0. So those light blue areas, that's right on the 0 mark. And dark blue and purple are below 0 freezing. So that's still hanging on to the island there. So that's why there's that possibility of snow. And then moving into Monday afternoon, so around noon, you can see the warm airs pushing in here, getting up into the greens, 40 degrees or so Fahrenheit. So 5-6 degrees Celsius. And we should see that. You can see the little tongue here in the Alberni Valley where it warms up thanks to the inlet. So that should warm up on Monday afternoon, and looks like it gets cold again overnight. It'll be clear overnight, so we're expecting below 0 freezing temperatures on Tuesday morning. But it should warm right up. Yeah, there we can see that warming up by the afternoon. Might see some fog in the Alberni Valley if it's going to be cold in the morning like that. Often we get fog in the mornings, so just be careful of that. But yeah, it looks like Each morning is going to be pretty chilly. There's Wednesday morning. That's down to 16 Fahrenheit, so -5 maybe or so. But yeah, should still have some nice weather for sure. Some sunny breaks, maybe a little fog in the morning time. So that's good. Okay, let's look at the last one here. I just want to check out is the super long range forecast going out 16 days, get an idea of what it's going to look like. And this looks like a warming trend. So we can see here we're around 0, between 0 and 5 for most of this week, getting down cold in the evenings, so -5, and in the morning time, -5, and then popping up to 3 or 4 or 5 in the afternoons. And then as we go here, 5 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees, 6 degrees, 8 degrees, 8 degrees. So we'll getting up into the at least upper single digits, might get up to 10, who knows, that would be nice. But not freezing for the month in the foreseeable future after this first week. So that's good. If we look at the precip, we can see down, yep. So there's, so we can, this is just precipitation, so in general, but there underneath we can see the rain. Expects it to be completely dry out until about Friday, Saturday next weekend. And then a little bit of rain coming in, and it looks like it expects some rain over the weekend. Next weekend is what it's expecting. And it does expect a little bit of snow here, maybe into Thursday, but that was that super weak system coming down the island, so I don't expect that to amount to much, but there is a little bit of snow in the forecast there. So cloud coverage, there we go. There's a little bit of clear patches, probably with some fog this week to start, and then it clouds over from Thursday through the weekend when we'll have a little bit of rain, and then it looks like it expects us to clear up again next week. So pretty typical spring. Looks okay. Nothing more than about 10 degrees probably Celsius. Doesn't look like it's going to get below freezing after the next couple days. So that's about where we are. I hope you have enjoyed this webcast, and please do like and subscribe. Alberniweather.ca is where you want to go for your up-to-date data and your webcam views. And you can always find this channel on YouTube. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great night.